stupid, yeah. Sure, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Just letting you know in advance.
Mr. Ford,
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to do my brief introduction before we
Not,
start.
not a problem.
Okay, so, and then you'll be first.
That's fine. I'll just.
Okay.
I'll go stand over here. Do you have a preference?
I think Brian would like you to sit next to him.
I'm sure.
So what I did was I prepared an order for the judge to sign to set the bonds on those charges. Yeah.
So, yeah, I know who he is, so,
He
okay.
didn't make the docket, but it's okay. Judge is just gonna, I prepared an order for the judge to sign setting the bonds on those counts that Grant and I talked about. So if he's there, keep him there so the judge can tell him.
Okay, yeah, we'll be calling him. He didn't make the docket. Okay, great. Okay, Deputy Henry.
Yeah, if you want, Judge, we could just call him second since he's not technically on the docket.
Okay,
Yes, Mr. Turner.
I'm just
Yeah.
finishing the order right now.
okay.
Oh, he's here.
Yes. Okay, I'll tell you, everything that I have is in these piles, just this. Do you need? Sure.
I think I gave you.
Yeah. And you want me to announce this too? After
Yeah, just to
Mr.
let him know
Ford's
that you're
case?
doing it. Yeah, that's what we would have done this.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess the only thing we have to do, I didn't realize this. We added a charge of assault that was, I guess, never dealt with after he died.
So just leave it up to the.
Yeah, and frankly, well, I mean, you said you want, I mean,
He's being held up by.
yeah, no, it's up to you, if you wanna just keep it in the bond, since he's judge, it's up to you. Okay, all right, no, that's fine. I don't think we filed on either one, but I'll double check again. I don't think either one. Oh, they don't physically have them, gotcha.
Yeah, they don't, so I'll waive his presence if you haven't filed.
I'm shocked.
Good afternoon. My name is Judge Kathleen McCarthy, and you're here for a first appearance hearing. There are three purposes for the hearing. The first purpose is to determine if there's probable cause for your arrest, which means whether there are reasonable grounds to believe a crime may have been committed and you are the person that committed the crime. If I find there's no probable cause for your arrest, one of two things may occur. I may give the state up to 24 hours to produce additional facts to show probable cause, or I may direct you to be released. If you're released for lack of probable cause, it does not mean the case is over. It only means you will be released from custody. If the state wants to proceed against you on these charges, it has the right to do so. The second purpose is determine whether you should have a lawyer appointed to represent you. You have a right to counsel. If you have your own attorney and you want him or her to be present, you should advise me and I will direct the bailiff to attempt to reach him or her. And if we cannot reach your attorney, this proceeding may have to be delayed. If you want to have a public defender appointed to represent you, please let us know. I will appoint a public defender to represent you if you qualify for the services of the public defender. You must fill out completely an application for indigency, which will be provided to you, and the clerk of court will determine if you meet the statutory criteria for having a public defender appointed to represent you. You will be charged $50 for the processing of the application, which is due 7 days from the date of the application. Please understand that the services of the public defender are not free. If you eventually enter a plea of guilty or no contest, or if you're eventually found guilty of the offense for which you are charged, then a judgment may be entered against you for the reasonable value of the public defender's services. The third purpose is to determine what type of pretrial release, if any, should be set in your case. I want to advise you, each of you have the right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution. You're not required to say anything, and anything you say may be used against you. You also have the right to communicate with counsel, family, or friends, and if necessary, you will be provided reasonable means to do so. Good afternoon, Mr. Linder. Can you please call the case that we put on recall so
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Ford could be present?
Of course.
Morning, Your Honor.
Hello,
Michael-
Mr. Ford.
Michael Turner, Your Honor.
And Judge, I'm filling in for Mr. Olivier from my office, Regional Conflict Counsel. This is
Okay.
already his client.
Okay.
I believe Mr. Turner was at main jail this morning.
Mr. Turner? Mr. Turner, no, that's
He's
not.
I mean, they wouldn't have moved him. Let me just check again.
Okay.
I mean, Hector?
What's the name of the gentleman again?
Michael Turner.
It was from this morning, Mr. Romero, because we needed regional counsel.
He is at Maine.
Judge, right now, they're gonna try and, bring him, so,
Okay,
we could, put that on recall.
Okay.
not a
okay.
problem. Thank you, Hector.
Okay, Mr. Ford, you can have a seat.
Good afternoon.
Christopher Reynoso?
All right, Vasily.
Okay. All right, sir.
Your Honor, it would appear that the first 5 counts, which were change of charges, did not make it on the afternoon docket. I'm asking the court, pursuant to a conversation I had with Mr. Reynoso's attorney, Grant Schwartz, and pursuant to Judge Benson's previous findings, to set the bonds on the first 5 counts back at $15,000, which he set it originally at, and the same release conditions. I'm also trying to avoid Mr. Reynoso having to come back on another day for no reason, you know.
Yes, okay. Anything, Mr. Reedy?
This is a private counsel, Judge.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, and I can, again, you know, just since we're on a different docket, I can proffer to the court. I spoke with Mr. Schwartz this morning. He's aware of everything. He's in contact with the assigned prosecutor about possibly having the bonds reduced.
Okay, the court's going to go ahead and grant your request. In addition, the bonds for counts 6 through 11, which were previously set, all release conditions previously set by Judge Benson shall remain in place. Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Stanley Ivy?
Mr. Ivy's here, present Judge at Maine, he's approaching.
Good afternoon, sir. You're being charged with an out-of-state hold for a felony. Anything, Mr. Romero? All right. Good luck, sir. Courtney Everett? Oh, bonds posted on Courtney
Mr.
Everett.
Everett, I've been advised bonded, Miss Everett bonded.
Okay. Tammy Lee Parent?
Miss Perrin is here present, come on up, Miss Perrin.
Good afternoon, Ms. Parent. You're being charged with grand theft auto, driving while license suspended, third or subsequent offense, and failing to use designated lane. State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting that the bonds be kept in place. First, Ms. Parent's criminal history out of Broward. She pled out on unlawful use of false name or identity at DWLS in October. She had a theft last year. DWLS habitual offender in '07. DWLS possession of methadone '07. Theft '07. Grand theft with a VOP in '04. Her arrest her last arrest was in August, and there was a capious arrest on that case. Just seeing if there's any other prior failures to appear. She had a failure to appear capious previously on a felony. Another on a misdemeanor. Another on a misdemeanor. Another on a misdemeanor. So I'm showing 5 total previous arrests for failing to appear in court.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Romero?
Judge and fee, Ms. Parent, she advised me she cannot afford to post the monetary bond, and she cannot call anyone that can afford the monetary bond, which is currently set. She's 44 years old. What she does, she's self-employed. She cleans houses for a living. Her total income, from what she told me about last month, was about $400 for the whole entire month. She lives in Hallandale. Judge, she's asking if you would consider releasing her ROR.
Okay, the court's gonna go ahead and find probable cause with regard to charge number 1, bond set at $1,000, charge number 2, $750.
Thanks, Judge.
Christopher Cadet?
I believe he
I've been
posted.
informed he bonded.
Okay, yes. Damien Loren St. John?
Mr. St. John is here present, Judge. He's approaching. He declined to serve as the public defender.
Good afternoon, sir. You don't wish to use the services of Mr. Romero's office?
You want to use that, public defender?
Oh, yeah, they don't matter. Yeah.
You do? All right, Mr. Romero,
Okay.
thank you. We're gonna give you a moment, okay?
Judge.
Yeah, because L'Oreal said that the first 5 counts were going to be on our afternoon docket, but they didn't make it, so I figured it'd make it easier to just, because he's still being, they're changing charges, but he's still being held no bond. So I just, on the ad charge, half of his case was changing charges, the other half was ad charges.
We're ready, Judge.
Okay. All right, sir, you're being charged with number 1, possession of cannabis. Number 2, a capious misdemeanor, 3 capious misdemeanor, 4 capious misdemeanor. You do have a hearing scheduled in Division ZD on December 26th at 1:30. State?
Your Honor, this is, well, on just count 2, that's a warrant for failing to appear issued at a drug court by Judge Zeller. And then I'm showing he's got a failure to appear in another case for the same charge. And then when he was arrested yesterday, it was again for the same charge. I'm just
Okay.
asking that they be kept in place.
All right. Mr. Romero?
Judge, he advised me that his mother knows that he's here and that she will be posting his monetary bond.
Okay, then the court's gonna find probable cause with regard to charge 1, bonds at 100, 2, 2,000, 3, 500, and 4, 250.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Jesus Torres?
Posted bond.
I've been informed he bonded.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes. Michael Smizer?
He posted.
I've been informed he bonded as well.
Michael
Smizer.
Smizer?
Smizer.
Mr. Smizer, I've been informed bonded. Judge.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Romero. Yes. Santiago Sanchez?
I've been advised Mr. Sanchez bonded.
Okay. Charlie Reyes?
Posted bond.
Ryan,
Sorry, we
yes.
don't- it's like no hitter. We don't talk.
Ryan James Rich?
Mr. Rich, come on up, please.
His bond was posted, Judge.
Sir?
Ryan.
Oh, okay. Okay, good news, your bond's been posted. You have been charged with driving with license suspended, 3rd or subsequent offense with that bond at $750 in violation of probation. at 5,000. Sir, you have a hearing on January 11th at 10 a.m.,
Same difference. Just on the same point.
okay?
Okay.
All right. Hi, sir. Which case are you on?
Judge, good morning. I'm here on Brent Lewis for Amin. It's a write-in. Armando Hernandez on his behalf. We were here the other day with Broward, State Attorney. It's an agreed order. Nebbia's been satisfied,
And this is it?
and that's it.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Romero, I'm just taking care of an order, okay?
No problem.
Your Honor, who's the defendant?
This is Luis Furman Bread.
Okay,
Jessica Norland is the
it's statewide though,
Statewide,
correct? Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make on the record.
statewide case, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Romero,
Before we move on, just to let you know the procedure. The order's gonna have to be a certified copy, the jail accept, and then it has to have, you're gonna have to physically bring it over to the jail.
Okay, so go up to the,
Well, are you able to certify it here, or do you see?
all right, good luck. Okay, Mr. Romero.
Mr. Turner also showed up, so,
Mr. Turner?
yeah, I believe that's Mr. Sean Ford's client, or
Oh.
office representative.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Turner.
Michael
come on in.
Turner, it was a reset from this morning.
Hello, sir, we were able to get your attorney. We have Mr. Ford here from Regional Counsel, who's gonna assist, okay?
Okay.
All right,
And
so give
Your
us
Honor-
the status.
Thank you, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Ford. I think we are in agreement at least as far as how the court should proceed today. On count 3, Your Honor, and I provided paperwork to the court earlier this morning, Mr. Turner was charged with a burglary. The allegations have allegations involving a weapon. Judge Bailey ordered him to be held no bond for armed burglary, which is the charge that the state filed. Judge Bailey ordered him to be held no bond, and Mr. Turner's been arraigned by Judge Duffy. Just gonna be requesting that the court place the no bond hold back on him.
Okay,
The only other matter, Your Honor, I didn't realize this at first, count 13 is an ad charge
okay.
with aggravated assault. I'll let Mr. Ford, if you want to advise the court how you want the court to proceed.
Judge, I've gone over the PC. I'd ask for a standard bond. I can't off the top of my head remember what the standard bond is for an ag assault. I asked for $2,500 or dollars.
I'm
Okay.
fine with that.
All right, so the court.
He's still being held no bond on the other
All
charge. I
right, the
mean,
court will adopt the recommendations from the state, and also the $2,500 for count 13.
And, yeah, of course, and Mr. Turner has a status hearing, I believe, January 2nd before Judge Duffy.
Okay, sir, you'll be in front of Judge Duffy on January 2nd, okay?
All right.
All right,
thank you.
all right.
Sheila.
Record spring.
2,500.
She said 25.
Are you looking at Turner? 2,500. It's for the new charge. They added a charge?
Which one you said doesn't know mine?
3, was it?
So, did he not come back here from?
Correct. Just a moment, Mr. Romero.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Linder, would this help if I gave her this paperwork?
No, she already has that, the original.
Okay. Now we're back in action. Ruben Gonzalez,
Mr. Gonzalez is here at Maine. He's approaching, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez. You're here on 6 charges. Number 1 is possession of cocaine. Number 2, possession of drug paraphernalia. 3, trespassing. 4, violation of probation. 5, a capious misdemeanor. And 6, probation violation or community control.
Sorry, Judge.
Have a good holiday, Judge. Good New Year.
Regarding Mr. Gonzalez, Your Honor, the probable cause affidavit seems to indicate that the cocaine in this case is a residue amount of cocaine. I would anticipate that the state will be filing this as a misdemeanor to possession of drug paraphernalia. I'd ask the court to consider RORing Mr. Gonzalez on count 1. He's going to be held no bond on counts 4 and 6 in any event for some time, so.
Yes.
It's a kind of a role reversal, but it just seems to me if he's gonna be held no bond, he'd wanna get the game.
Well, how about a nominal bond then, Judge?
Okay. The court's going to go ahead and find probable cause with regard to charge number 1, the possession of cocaine. Bond will be set at $100. Drug paraphernalia, ROR. And we have the no bonds on the violation of probation, let's see, the capious and the probation violation or community control. Sir, you have a hearing in Division FI for your violation of probation on January 9th at 8:30. Anything else?
Nothing from the state.
No, Your Honor.
Zachary Williams?
Mr. Williams is here present, Judge Armaine.
Hello, Mr. Williams.
How you doing, ma'am?
Good. You're being charged with possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and possession of cannabis 20 grams or less. State?
Your Honor, this,
Mr. Williams,
go ahead, no, go ahead.
no, he's asking, he believes his bond may have been posted, so I was gonna see if we can check on that.
We're checking, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Romero?
Your Honor, I'm gonna be requesting a bond increase to $5,000. I'm pretty concerned. This arrest, now the court has found probable cause, is a violation of his release conditions on the felony case he's out on right now for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated stalking, and criminal mischief. That's a 2016 case. In 1999, he was convicted of robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon, 2 counts of false imprisonment, possession of cocaine, and felony possession of cannabis. And he was sentenced to 15 years in state prison.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Romero?
Judge, at this time, I'd ask you to keep the standard bond in place at $1,000. My understanding is, right now, he has, I guess, his family working on the bond. If it hasn't been posted, maybe they're encountering some sort of financial difficulty. In order to raise it to $5,000, that's probably gonna be beyond their means. So I'd ask you at this time just to keep the standard bond in place, Judge.
Okay, the court's going to find probable cause and we'll keep the standard bond in place. Ian Christopher Johnson?
Mr. Johnson? Hey, how's it going? Hey, Trevor.
Ready?
We're ready to proceed, yes.
Okay. Sir, you're being charged with possession of cannabis over 20 grams as well as probation violation or community control. You do have a hearing scheduled in your division, which is FP, for your violation of probation on January 2nd at 9 p.m. Anything, State?
No, Judge.
Mr. Romero?
Judge, Mr. Johnson is requesting if you could ROR him on account 2, so you can be released for the holidays.
Your Honor, he wouldn't be released. He's got a no bond hold on count 2, and he was arrested for the same offense that he's on probation for.
Okay, sir, the state is correct. The court will find probable cause with regard to number 1. Bond will be set at $1,000. And you'll have a hearing in front of your judge on January 2nd. Andres William Pena?
He's a medical loan judge.
Tavoris Antoine Rosier?
No power, Your Honor, he's approaching.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, so you're being charged with distribute, deliver heroin, and another charge of distribute, deliver heroin. State?
Your Honor, I believe, Brian, is he being held no bond on other?
Yes, he has several no bond holds, so would ask the court to keep the bonds in place as they are.
Okay, court will...
On what day I deliver heroin is that?
All right, sir, the court's gonna find probable cause and we'll keep the bond at $2,500 for the one charge and $2,500 for the second charge. Okay?
I deliver heroin or something?
Mr. Reedy, do you know who the attorney is assigned in your office?
I can find out, Judge.
Okay, sir, we're gonna make sure that your attorney calls you or meets with you to discuss these allegations, okay?
But when those cases supposed to happen that I deliver heroin? Y'all don't.
Sir, we're not gonna talk about those facts right now.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Reedy, you'll get the message to.
I'll pass the information along to whoever it is. Usually I write down who it is. I didn't in this particular
I know
case.
you'll follow up. You're very diligent.
Well, I thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Diego Ezekiel Roca?
Also in North Broward.
North Broward, Your Honor.
Hello, sir. You're being charged with violation of probation, and you have a hearing scheduled in your division FJ on December 27th at 8:45 a.m. Okay?
All right, thank you, man.
All right, good luck, sir.
So you said the 27th, right?
Correct, sir.
All right, thank you.
Francis Barrows?
Barrows. It says it's spelled differently in the docket, but did he post?
Francis? BHAROSE?
He might have posted because I see he was Hector.
I'm being informed right now that he posted bond.
All right, Mr. Romero, thank you.
I think we just have our two 30 days, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, and Brian, they don't have a lot there. They don't have him at North of a lot.
Oh, okay, good. All right, thank you.
So we'll just call.
Wait a minute. We found two resets, Michael Anthony Turner and Stanley Ivy.
Okay, Turner was Mr. Ford's case.
Okay, so, ma'am? And then we had
Lon-
the Stanley Ivy.
It was the extradition case. We did that.
Okay, all right. Okay, Madam Clerk. So, you don't need me to sign this? Okay, Leon Cristo?
Mr. Leon Cristo is here, President Main Judge. He's approaching.
Your Honor, the state has not filed an information on these charges. Only thing I'd bring up, and I don't know if Mr. Romero has already discussed this with him, Mr. Leon has bonds on other charges in connection to a different case that has been filed. So if he can't post those bonds, even if he's granted the ROR in this case, he's still going to remain in
Okay.
custody.
And what's the total bond, Mr. Lender, on his other cases?
Counts 1 through 3 has got a total of $4,500 bond.
Let me talk to him right now.
That's an amazing resource.
Judge, after explaining Mr. Leon what's happening as far as potentially doing dead time on this case, at this time he wishes to not go forward on the motion.
Okay, thank you. Good luck, sir.
Well, it's not denied, it's not
Isn't he
denied.
withdrawing?
With, thank.
Vilop Darwin?
Your Honor, I don't believe, Mr. Reedy advised me, he spoke with North and they don't have him there, but I believe.
It was in Conte is where I show him being, but I don't think they have him physically. But I would waive his appearance if he's getting released.
Your Honor, the state has not filed information, so he's entitled to release.
So I'd waive his appearance and he can figure maybe Santa Claus got him out of jail or something.
Okay, very good job.
Santa delivers bond?
Okay,
Yeah, I know.
do we
It's
have
funny how that
anything
works
else?
out. No, ma'am.
All right.
Judge, it has been a pleasure.